On your feet! Get them going!
Hey everybody, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Sorry, I'm trying to, my computer just got super laggy right when I clicked go live. And and on top of that, I look freaking weird. Virtual background, change that fade. Nope. I don't want to look like I'm in a transporter moving through the universe. This coloring just looks weird, doesn't it? Anyways, hi everybody. Lady Celtic Moon, Melissa here, right and ready and early, and I am huge. Gosh darn it, where's my flipping? All right, let me zoom me out a little bit because I am, and I don't want auto exposure. Oh, do I want auto exposure? Oh wait, see, that looks better. And then I don't want to be this zoomed in. All right, that's fine. Yes, all the things I should have done before I started the stream. What are we doing today? I think we're doing Job 25. IIRC. We are doing that. But until then, I'm going to close all of these windows and see if I can just get a little bit more RAM working on my computer. And then I'm going to jump in. Our show yesterday with the Atheist Dilemma. We got a couple comments from, one of them is from our old friend, Brooklyn Lou, who we haven't seen around here in a really long time. But lo and behold, I post Atheist in the title, and Brooklyn Lou comes running in like a fish on a line. So I'm going to just jump in after, say, oh, hello, Amy. Welcome. Yeah, sorry, I am a wee little bit late. It is what it is. I don't have to explain everything. I just I didn't get up. Stayed up way too late last night. I was up past 4, so. And then I was sitting here and I'm drinking my coffee, and maybe I shouldn't talk about it. I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm stuck on a chair for an hour. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't just talk about it. But here I am, stuck on a chair for an hour. All right, Brooklyn Lou. What's up, DJs in the house? What's up? So Brooklyn Lou, 2 hours ago, posts, agnosticism does not mean ignorance. It literally, if you break down the word, that's literally, it means the same thing as ignorance. Sorry, Brooklyn Lou, but I broke down the word yesterday. It means that a person does not know something. Does not know. Ignorance does not know. Is this your first copy of the day? No, this is my second copy. Well, I drank half of my first one, then I refilled it. It is an honest position for a person to take, and it is not a stupid one. I know, I said that yesterday. That's what I said yesterday, right? It is more honest to claim that you're an agnostic than it is to say you're an atheist. That's literally, I haven't read these comments yet, so I'm just I'm responding as I'm reading it. It is far more dishonest to make believe you know things you do not know. To say believing something is the same as believing something is a ridiculous thing. What? I think Brooklyn Lou had a stroke. Okay, let me try this again. It is far more dishonest to make believe you know things you don't know. Right, like calling yourself an atheist. To say believing something is the same as not believing something is a ridiculous thing some. Okay. I think he had a stroke in the middle of a sentence, but he somehow hit reply because that's all he left. But to say believing something is the same as not believing something, I think Lou misunderstands the point. To say not believing in when there are only two options to a thing and you don't believe the one option, you're left with nothing else but with belief in the other option. There's no third choice to theism or atheism. Well, actually, there's a third choice. It's agnosticism, right? It's just claiming I accept that I don't know. But to claim a belief one way or the other is faith, is a matter of faith. And for people who claim that they don't have any faith, you're full of crap because you have faith the other way. And it's absolutely faith. You have faith. I don't know. I'm going to regurgitate yesterday's argument. But yeah, apparently Brooklyn Lou. I'm sorry, man. It's like you stroked out in the middle of your argument and just disappeared. He said, "Is a ridiculous thing some ... and that was it. No more. Is there some way? Can I expand this in any way? No, I can't. Wait. Do I have to be? No, because I'm looking at it. I'm trying to read it here. And there's no way to expand it. But it looks like the second comment by Frosted 1030 is also. It just ends. Oh, no, wait, no. Okay, let me read his. This is the other argument from the next atheist. LOL, the theist's dilemma. How can you show that your imaginary friend, based on your favorite third-hand translation of an Iron Age fable, is real without using logical fallacies, arguments, and lies? Oh, wait, you can't. Well, clearly he's not been to this channel. The proof that the Bible is written from outside of time and space lies in prophecy. This is the same argument Jesus made 2,000 years ago. They have Moses and the prophets. If they believe not them, neither will they believe. And it is a matter of will. It is not a matter of can or cannot. They will not believe if a man should rise from the dead. Jesus used prophecy as his measuring stick for what was and was not from God. The Old Testament quantifies itself in that if someone claims to be writing for God, they better prove it or you should kill them. So that's the bar that the Old Testament sets. Moses sets it right out the gate. If someone claims they speak for God and what they say does not come to pass, in other words, if they can't prove that they're a prophet speaking from outside of time and space, I mean, getting messages from God to speak from outside of time and space, you kill them. It's the death penalty for pretending, or as you would say, fallacies, arguments, and lies. Yeah, okay. If someone comes up and claims to speak for God with fallacies, arguments, and lies, guess what happens to them? Well, not really. They get stoned to death, which is you are just pummeled with large rocks until you are no more of this earth. So, yeah. And it's not favorite third-hand translations. We can go back to the original texts and see exactly what the words mean. And does that mean we get everything absolutely right? No, I'm there with you. But no imaginary friend of mine can tell the truth from outside, or can tell history in advance from outside of time and space. So clearly, that cannot be an imaginary person. That has to be someone with information from outside of the human experience, a metaphysical reality dictated to us through those who speak for God and could prove it. If they couldn't prove it, their words wouldn't be in the Bible. They wouldn't have been considered prophets. It's not, I don't see how that's hard to understand. I get it when you say like, oh, no, none of that prophecy stuff is true. It's all fake, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right. Okay. That's why you have 66 books written over thousands of years by 40 plus authors, all with a contiguous idiomatic system. It's an integrated message system from outside of time and space, as Chuck Missler used to say. And to me, I think that's a very convincing argument. It convinced me, who was raised agnostic. I didn't have some angry, bitter dog in the fight that made me think I was an atheist because I was mad. That's really what it is. Brooklyn Lou, I know. I've listened to you tell your stories. You're just mad at God. I get it. That's what 99% of atheists, those who won't just say they're agnostic. You know, if you don't really have it, if it's not an emotional issue, you just generally say, yeah, I'm an agnostic. I'm agnostic about it. I don't know, I can't know, and therefore I really don't care. That's agnosticism. Atheism is an emotional response because it's illogical, but you claim it anyways because you don't want there to be a God. There may be a handful of atheists out there that does not qualify. That's fine. But as a generality, as a guy who's been arguing this for 30 years now, that's what almost atheist I've ever met. That's their issue. It is. So, Pureblood asks, why do atheists concern themselves with something they don't believe? Seems counterproductive to me. Because it's emotional, Pureblood. They do. Deep, deep, deep down, they believe, and they're just freaking mad at God for something. Their parents got divorced, their mom died, their cousin died, somebody got cancer, some prayer just wasn't answered. They're gay, and they can't believe in a God who would condemn their lust. All of this kind of stuff. That it's just, they're just mad at God. And then they say, I can't be mad at something I don't believe in. Well, then why don't you call yourself an agnostic and just say you don't care? Oh, I care that people believe the wrong thing. No, you don't. No, you don't. Your time would be much better spent. You're so hell-bent on making sure other people don't believe the wrong thing because of what? Because statistics show that living a Christian life is actually far more beneficial on both a personal and societal level, and therefore you want to make sure that those people aren't happy and fulfilled with their lives because they're believing the wrong thing. Yeah, you're proselytizing out of emotion, and that's why you get so emotional when you debate. If you were to, I think actually Christopher Hitchens may not have had that kind of thing, because Christopher Hitchens is one of these guys that, like, he doesn't get emotional. Like, if he gets cornered in a debate, like I used to watch all those Dinesh D'Souza, Christopher Hitchens things, and when he got cornered in a debate, he just goes, "Oh, well, yes, that is odd, isn't it? I should think about that." that's like his response to, like, when he doesn't have an answer for something against a theist in a debate. So maybe he was one of that 1% of atheists that isn't just being an atheist out of whatever emotional charge. But you watch some of these other debate guys, and it's like either they get emotional and they walk away like that Matt Dollahaney, is that his name? Whatever, the bald guy, or they get freaking snippy and like, oh, what they do? They just talk over. It's like you're making a sound argument. They just talk over and they change the argument. They won't run an argument down to its course, to its logical conclusion. They will just change the argument. And I get it. A lot of people do that, whether they're debating theism, atheism, or anything else, right? Ooh, Alex O'Connor just debated David Wood, and apparently it went well. Ooh, I want to watch that. I'll be watching that today. You know what else I'll be watching today? Minecraft. I already bought my tickets. My kids want to go, and we have a whole set of our kids' friends, like all the different age group kids' friends. We're going to go block out half a theater. I kind of hope it doesn't suck, because they're looking so forward to it. If it sucks, it's going to be like, oh, man. What's up, Chuck? La, la, la. What is that? Be less blessing. Oh, I heard that snipe. Don't think I didn't. I'm always listening. What snipe? What did I snipe? Snippity snip snip. The problem is that the atheists we talk with say that our claim of there being a God is unreasonable, but then make the negative claim there is no God with the same amount of evidence at best. Oh, there's at best. No, not even close. Not even close. Honestly, it's like I made that argument yesterday. It's like, look, if abiogenesis could have happened, it should happen all the time. It can't have been something that's so, well, it is. If I always say do the math on it, because I've read like A.E. Wilder-Smith's The Natural Sciences Know Nothing. He's a PhD. Know nothing about evolution, and he goes down to the basic minimum necessary chemical and molecular reactions to creating the first amino acid, replicating amino acid. And it is, the math on it is the improbability is so high as to be considered absurd. So in layman's terms, it's impossible. Abiogenesis is simply impossible. And so they make these claims, and it's like, it's not that there's no evidence. The evidence is that it is impossible. Now, if you want to be a, evolutionary, what's it called again? Theistic evolutionist. If you want to be a theistic evolutionist and say, well, God is the one that put all that together, and God guided all the various steps and blah, 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 blah. I mean, at least that way you have a possibility. Even if you want to be a deist and you say God set all these things in motion and he guided evolution until we were human beings and then stepped away and let us all kill each other. Even then, you have a far better. But thinking that just random matter, energy, chemicals, molecules could just coalesce into life is the dumbest thing any scientist has ever claimed. It's the dumbest thing mankind has ever claimed, frankly. It is a matter of will, not can or ability. Buddy, just because I say the word will does not mean I am sniping at you. Distinction without a difference. Okay. I read Stephen C. Meyer's Return of the God Hypothesis. It really solidifies the case for intelligent design. It's a favorite book of mine. Nice. I think the debate posting either in parts of whole today. Ruslan from God Bless Studios held it. If you find it, just post it in the Discord, DJ. I would love to watch that soon. It's gonna suck. What's gonna suck? What? What are you talking about, buddy? So, all right, let's see. If anyone is here live watching on Twitter, let me know. And I know it's hard to, you have to actually click, not the video itself, because that'll expand the whole thing. The words below the video, you have to click, and then that'll open up a viewing screen with a chat channel. It's a weird thing. It's like people don't even know they can chat on Twitter. Sorry, Mike. That post I made earlier sounded like I had a minor stroke while writing. Yeah, I hope Brooklyn Lou's okay. It does seem like he stroked out while writing that question. It's just so funny. Agnosticism does not mean ignorance. It's literally the same word. I knew this when I was an agnostic. Come on, I'm not making stuff up to try to make agnostics sound bad. It is the same word. It is the same word. If you break down the meaning of the word, it is the same word functionally. It is a distinction without a difference, as Buddy Rabbit says. But he was talking about something else. Catacomic, aka Tina T. Hey, Mike. All right, Tina's in the Twitters. Wait, is Tina in here too, or just watching on Twitter? Oh yes, she's in here too. Bing bong. All right, so I've got a double. Should we just jump into Le Job? I'm pretty sure I can get to the right one today. I'm everywhere. Gnostic. Okay. And Code Princess. Oh, Amy. You know what, Amy? I should follow you on Twitter and then add you to the Drawn and Quartered room so that you can just be in there. Bible times, good times. All right, let's just get to the Bible. Maybe I can make this a short episode, King James. I got stuff to do today. Not like I don't have stuff to do every day, but yeah, if you would, guys, please keep praying for my guidance. No, but the distinctions you made afterwards does mean you might be. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. Once again, I'm many seconds away from the immediate responses, and my brain just doesn't hold on to that conversation unless I'm still talking about the topic. But you know me, I chase squirrels. Get to Job like it's your job. All right. Let's see. We're in Job. I believe we are in chapter 25. If I am not incorrect, which I might be because I certainly was yesterday. Okay, I think this is it. Share screen. You gotta type fast to land them zingers. That's right, Code Princess. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite. It's Bildad's turn at bat again. Let's see if he can knock one out of the park. 25 only has 6 verses. Going to be a short read. All right. Hot dang. All right. Well, we might get to more than 25 then. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, Dominion and fear are with him. He maketh peace in his high places. Is there any number of his armies? And upon whom doth not his light arise? How then can man be justified with God? Or how can he be clean that is born of a woman? Correct. Behold, even to the moon, it shined, and it shineth not. Yea, the stars are not pure in his sight. How much less man, that is a worm, and the Son of Man, which is a worm. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to the next chapter. But Job answered. Job's getting a little impatient if you only let Bildad have 6 verses. I like imagine this in a online YouTube debate where you just have people start talking over each other. How hast thou helped him that is without power? How savest thou the arm that hath no strength? How hast thou counseled him that hath no wisdom? How hast thou plentifully declared the thing as it is? To whom hast thou uttered words? And whose spirit came from thee? The dead things are formed from under the waters, and the inhabitants thereof. Hell is naked before him, and destruction hath no covering. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing. All right, this is one of the claims of scientific foreknowledge, that the earth is hung on nothing, right? I'm not sure. I mean, it fits. We're not hung on anything. I will pray for drawing classes. LOL, says Chuck Hewitt. Oh, do you want me to do the teaching? I mean, I could. I've been thinking about it. Earth is on a turtle, and it's turtle all the way down. I know that's the claim of certain other religions, right? So, but I don't know if he was making the antithetical claim to the Earth on the back of a turtle model. What are some of the other beliefs on cosmology from some of the other? Buddy would probably know. What are some of the other cosmological explanations for the Earth and where it is in the universe? Buddy, do you know? Should I look it up? Actually, let's look it up. What the heck? We have Grok. Why don't we just ask Grok? I'm sure Buddy will answer before Grok does, but I'm going to anyways. Grok. In the ancient religions of the world, what are the cosmological claims to the formation and place of the Earth in the universe? Let's see what Grok says, shall we? Mesopotamian religion. In Mesopotamian cosmology, notably the Babylonian Enuma Elish, the universe begins with a primordial chaos of water, personified by the gods Apsu and Tiamat. After a cosmic battle, the god Marduk slays Tiamat, splitting her body to create the heavens and the earth. The earth is formed from her lower half, while the sky is shaped from her upper half, held apart by Marduk's power. The earth is depicted as a flat disk floating on the cosmic waters, with the sky as a solid dome above it. Below lies the underworld, and the universe is enclosed within this layered structure, with gods governing celestial bodies like the sun, moon, and the stars. Okay, I think we can safely say that the Mesopotamian religions, Sumerian, Babylonian, and Assyrian, are slightly scientifically irrelevant. Ancient Egyptian cosmology varies across periods and regions, but a common narrative involves the god Atum or Ra emerging from the primordial waters of Nun, chaos. Atum creates himself, then produces Shu, the air, and Tefnut, moisture, who give birth to Geb, earth, and Nut, sky. Nut, it's spelled nut. Geb and Nut are separated by Shu, establishing the earth as a distinct entity beneath the arched body of Nut, the sky goddess. The earth is flat and central, with the sky stretched over it as a protective canopy adorned with stars. The sun god Ra travels across the sky daily and through the underworld at night, suggesting a cyclical cosmos centered on earthly existence. So they're flat earthers. They better make a good argument. In the pre-Socratic Greek religions, in Hesiod's theogony, the universe begins with chaos, a void, followed by the emergence of Gaia, Earth, as a foundational entity. Gaia gives birth to Uranus, which means sky, and their union produces the Titans and other beings. Later, Greek thinkers like Anaximander proposed more abstract origins, such as the Earth forming from the boundless apeiron, condensing into a solid mass. Placed in the universe is typically seen as a flat, disc-like structure floating on water or suspended in space. Oh, they have it suspended in space. By the time philosophers like Aristotle, it became a spherical body at the center of a geocentric universe, surrounded by concentric celestial spheres carrying the stars, planets, and heavens. That Aristotle in Hinduism. In the Rig Veda, the universe emerges from a cosmic sacrifice or the division of a primordial being, Purusha, whose body parts form the earth, sky, and heavens. Later, Puranic texts describe cycles of creation where Brahma, the creator god, shapes the earth from a golden egg born in the cosmic waters. I see this cosmic waters thing in several of these. This is interesting. I wonder what the crossover, if you take all of the, you know what, I could ask Grok to just do this and say, what what are the common themes in all these religious beliefs? I'm going to skip the rest. I'm only halfway through it. I don't want to spend all day reading the whole thing. All right, so the common themes: the primordial chaos or void. Most traditions begin with an unformed chaotic state, whether water, void, or undifferentiated mass, preceding the creation of Earth and cosmos. In the beginning, God created, formless and void. 2, divine or supernatural agency, obviously. 3, flat Earth model. The Earth is consistently depicted as a flat plane, disc, or square rather than a sphere, often floating on or supported by something, water, animals, or pillars. Separation of Earth and sky. A recurring motif is the division of Earth and sky as foundational act of creation. And he separated the waters above from the waters below. And he separated Earth from the waters, and then separated the waters from the waters. That's funny. Centrality of the Earth, position of the central or most significant element of the universe. Cosmic support or foundation of the Earth is frequently supported by a physical or mythical structure, preventing it from sinking into chaos or the void. Okay, I don't think we got that from Christianity. Layered or tiered universe. The cosmos is often structured in layers, with the Earth as the middle plane, Middle Earth, between upper and lower realms. I wonder if there's any truth to that, because, like, dimensionality wise, like, are the 4 dimensions? I've always just sort of thought that the 4 dimensions were sort of the base, and then the other dimensions were above us in some sense. But what if there are like lower? Well, I guess there would be hell, but I don't know if the hell is a dimension. I don't know. But that's interesting. I like seeing what the crossovers are, because, again, like all of these ancient religions, they probably have some sort of there's some sort of derivation from what would be the original truth, right? The original truth that Noah would have known, and then Noah's children, and then grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Some few generations away from Noah is where all of these religions got their start. So it is curious to see how much crossover there is, separating the earth from the sky, but then they add all these weird things like riding on the back of a turtle and all that kind of. But there is a lot of commonality. It's very interesting. I never did this before. I'm learning. Cyclical or transformative process. Creation is not always a singular event. Many traditions include cycles of destruction and renewal or transformations of divine bodies into the earth. I think there's people in Christianity who actually believe this. I think Larry thinks like this. No. Let's see, broader implications. Let's just read this real quick before we wrap this up. These common themes reveal a shared human impulse to make sense of the world through narrative and metaphor. The prevalence of chaos to order transitions, divine creators, and a flat central earth highlights early reliance on sensory experience and the need to imbue existence with meaning. While details vary, reflecting local geography, climate, or theology, these cosmologies converge on a vision of the earth as a deliberate, pivotal creation within a structured, sacred universe. That's an interesting bit of information. All right, what's going on in the chat? I used to know this, and I've got nothing. LOL. Three-tiered universe. Back of camels, layered flat plains on a whale. All right. I could use some prayer from my mama. In the nursing home, she's had several infections and is being resistant to antibiotics. I would so appreciate it. Her name's Patricia. All right, let's see. Practical. She's resistant to antibiotics. Ooh. I'm trying to think what else you can do for infections. Colloidal silver, honey. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else offhand. Micah just had an infection on his finger, and thankfully it just went away. He's got a strong immune system. So, boosting the immune system. So vitamin C, vitamin E, and D. I mean, get her maxed out on. I go get her some liquid vitamins and see if she can just keep taking those and just boost her immune system while you're doing this. But yeah, Lord God, Tina's mom, Patricia, is having a difficult time with her infections, Father, and the antibiotics don't seem to be doing their job. So, Lord, we just put her in your hands and pray that you do the job for her and that you can bring her out of this phase of ill health. And Lord, give her the strength to fight these infections through your will, Lord, through your power, and through your natural healing, Father. And Lord, just we elevate her and we pray you give her strength and healing and blessings. And we thank you for doing this. In Jesus' precious name, amen. The corpses of gods. I think there's a story about, I think it was water falling from the spear of one of the Japanese deity that formed the earth, and the stars formed the droplets. Blessings, Patricia. May God's providence shine on you forever. Amen. Cosmic squirrel. I know. I saw. No. All right. Oh, I was just listing general models, not specific places. Guess I didn't understand what you asked. No worries. Garlic. Yes, garlic too. Oh, yes. So if you mash, it's raw garlic is kind of a hard pill to take, but if you like mash it up and you mix it in honey, that works both internally and externally. It's out of my hands, Mike. They won't even let me bring her a bottle of Tums. They control everything that goes in her. Oh my gosh. That sucks. All right. Well, All right. That sucks. La, 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 la. He bindeth up the waters in his thick clouds, and the cloud is not rent under them. He holdeth back the face of his throne, and spreadeth his cloud upon it. He hath compassed the waters with bounds, until the day and night come to an end. The pillars of heaven tremble, and are astonished at his reproof. He divideth the sea with his power, and by his understanding he smiteth through the proud. By his spirit he hath garnished the heavens, and his hand hath formed the crooked serpent. I don't quite understand what that means. Lo, these are parts of his ways, but how little a portion is heard of him. But the thunder of his power, who can understand? Yeah, I've heard some of these also used in the scientific foreknowledge thing, but I never really, I mean, yeah, obviously clouds are, water is in the clouds. Derp. I never saw that as particularly convincing. Even though some Christians will use this as the scientific foreknowledge. I mean, it's not scientifically wrong, but it's not like it's more of an that's pretty darn observable. You know what I'm saying? It's wait, you mean it only rains when there are clouds above? And there are those dark clouds that seem to be full of water. All right, Lady Celtic Moon, good night. I mean, good night. Good nap. Manuka honey is well known for its antibacterial properties, even for honey. Yep. True. True. Too bad. Lightning is also in the clouds and noise. Crack-a-doom. It's true. No, but I mean that's just to make a point that it's like, yeah, I did go through, and I do believe there is medical and scientific foreknowledge, particularly medical stuff we wouldn't have known about health until like this century or this past century, this previous century, stuff they're still arguing about. But the scientific foreknowledge stuff, it's like as long as there's not something that claims something that isn't so, but something, and therefore it's like, when I went through all this research to come to this conclusion that the Bible is from outside of time and space, the scientific foreknowledge was one of the arguments that I was reading through, and a lot of it is stuff like this, where it's like, I get it, you're saying this is scientific foreknowledge, but you're only saying it because it doesn't contradict the obvious, right? Yeah, there's bounds to water. there's water in the clouds. Okay. I get it, but it's like you're not gonna rest your fed. That's not a convincing argument. It may not be. I mean, you can just say, wait, like you're adding up all the stuff that the Bible doesn't contradict known factual scientific reality. Okay, you're just adding it to the number, but honestly, it's not much of an argument. That's not to say there aren't arguments, right? The earth hangs upon nothing. That's fine. That's at least it's not saying, if it said the earth is riding on the back of a turtle, scientists would have a very good argument. That is incorrect. So, all right. Anyways, I think that's. Can we just wrap this up early today? There's not a lot of theology going on in this argument. I mean, there is some, but maybe I'm just skipping past it. I'm sure Buddy would be like, "What do you mean? He says, whose spirit came from thee? Dead things are formed from under the waters, and the inhabitants thereof." You want to do might be a very tiny turtle. You want to do a like the deep translation of that? Let's see what the deep translation of this is. All right. Deep translation of of Job, chapter 26. Uh, 5 through 8. 5 through 8. Let's see what Grok does with my preset deep translation from the original Hebrew in readable prose. And again, for I know Buddy was saying it's like, but that doesn't have the thing or whatever. But let me show you when I do this on Grok. It breaks down the meaning of every single word. It gives a lexicology, like a biography, lexography. I don't know what you'd call it, but it has all the words, and it says what all of the words meanings are, and then contextually it just wraps it up into a nice readable prose. So let's read it. 26, 5 through 8. Behold, the shades below tremble, those faint departed spirits restless in the depths of the abyss. The waters, vast and untamed, quiver with their offspring, all shuddering beneath the gaze of the one who reigns above. Before him, Sheol lies naked, stripped bare, its secrets unveiled, while Abaddon, the realm of ruin, stands exposed with no veil to shield its darkness. His might is boundless. He stretches out the northern skies, a canopy of shimmering vastness, unfurling them over the void where nothing dares to hold. He suspends the earth upon that emptiness, a marvel hung in the balance, resting on no pillar, upheld by his unspoken will. He binds up the waters in his clouds, wrapping them tight in garments of vapor. Yet those fragile cloaks do not tear, holding fast the deluge by his command. Garments of vapor. That is so much more. I love it when I do this with Grok. It's not so much. I kind of want to read a whole Bible like that. Oh wait. Aristotle writes that all things, as well superior as inferior, were at first well ordained and are still much better governed by the opinion and judgment of one only than of many together. That Aristotle, I tell you what. All right. If you see a little turtle, shall you find it? Would that mean we're living in the world of Dr. Seuss? Yertle the turtle, wasn't that the one with turtles stacked up? I think that's a sign to end this this episode. Thanks everybody for being here. We're gonna tap out a little bit early today. Let everybody get to their weekend, and yeah, again, pray for guidance. If I can get enough people to say they want me to do teaching, it'd be like our tutorials, like critiques and tutorials and homework. I don't know. Considering, but that is what it is. Thank you everybody for being here. God bless you all. We'll see you on Monday for the next cross examination.
Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!